Hello there guys, Fengferth here. Welcome to Anno 2070. This game is set 60 years into the future, where the sea is eating up all the land. There isn't that much land anywhere, and your job is to build a civilization and help them recover from the seas. You do that by building stuff, building more stuff, and then building even more stuff, and then filling the needs, and then building more stuff. Does it sound boring? No, not at all. It's actually not. It's fucking brilliant. It's a fucking cracking game. So, let me get one little negative out the way first. Because as a gamer and a consumer, it's my duty to let you know that this game does have a slight hiccup. Now, the game itself, it's not anything to do with the game itself at all. It's to do with the DRM on this game. Now, this has put a lot of people off buying it. So, if you bought it off Steam, you effectively have two forms of DRM. Now, obviously, for example, Far Cry 3, what I bought, that's got two forms of DRM because it's got Steam and Uplay. This is exactly the same. However, it also has targets. Now, targets, for people that don't know, basically, just to sum it up, it means you can activate the game 3 times, and that's it. Now, this is a problem for people that are constantly upgrading their system, or that have to restart every now and again just due to viruses and whatnot, or to hardware failures. Now, it does really punish those people, because it means you can only activate the game 3 times, and then that's it. Which is the reason why a lot of people have been put off on it. Now, there's not actually any solid information anywhere about this, which is kind of weird. I think once I find some, I will post it in the comment section, or I'll post it underneath. But there's been a lot of rumours going on saying that the actual DRM itself has been removed. There's no proof of this. Apparently, you get activations back after a set number of days, like a month, for example. You get an activation back. Again, it's all speculation. There's no solid proof of this. I will check myself. I'll definitely have a really hard look to see if I can find out any information about it. It's just really weird. I mean, I've literally spent the past couple of hours just trying to find out what this target actually is. You know, it's weird. It's really weird. Really weird form of DRM that really seems to punish legit consumers. You know, I can understand, you know, against piracy. At the end of the day, you know, piracy, it does kill the gaming industry, but this is a bit much. You know. Anyway. Anno 2017. Now, I played the only Anno game I've actually played was for the DS. It was called 1701. I fucking played that to death. That was a massive time sink for me. It's also one of my favourite DS games. It's a very similar kind of concepts, but of course 2070 has it more full-fleshed. It's epic. Now, why am I saying it's epic? Well, let's just show you some gameplay, eh? That might be a good idea. Let's just go through a few things first. So, this is your interface. This is the main menu. That's pretty cool. Very futuristic. Very nice. You can do certain stuff if you are playing on online mode, which is one great advantage of Uplay, which I give them credit for. You can actually play Uplay games offline mode without no trouble at all. You know, that's something that it gets right, that Steam doesn't get right. Steam, you still have to be connected to the internet to actually go on to offline, which is fucking annoying. Really is. But, hey, that's it. So, yeah, I think I've already spent 5 minutes chatting shit. So, yeah. Firstly, there is 3 factions in the game. There's the Global Trust. There's the Eden Initiative, I think it's Eden Initiative, and there is the Techs, and each faction goes about things slightly differently. So Global Trust tend to go about things in a non-ecological matter, which does affect gameplay. Eco's all about, you know, life, eco, yeah, eco, and techs are more about science, brainy shit. We can tell I'm not a scientist anyway, Kyle, yeah. Right. So, the one thing that really disappointed me when I first started this up is you have to play the tutorial. You have no choice, you have to play the tutorial, right? There's 4 missions, and it teaches you absolutely fuck all. I'm not joking. The thing it does wrong is, while it teaches you the basics, it tells you what to build, but it doesn't tell you why you need to build them, which is kind of annoying, because I want to know why I'm building this. What's the purpose of building this building? It's really annoying, and to be quite honest, unless you... I mean, I have played a few more of the campaign missions, and they're a bit better, but for a tutorial, it's really horrible. And, you know, it's wiki time, basically. That's what you want to be doing. You actually probably want to be checking the wiki for stuff like this, which is really unfortunate. Anyway, there's a lot of little missions as well. Some of these missions are with the game. Some of these are with DLC content. You can actually unlock a mission too via Uplay. So for those of you who don't know, Uplay is Ubisoft's digital distribution, blah 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 blah. You actually gain currency, Uplay currency, by completing achievements in games, and you can use that currency to buy stuff. So for example, on Far Cry 3 I bought the hand cannon. I can't actually use it yet because I still need to buy it in game, but you know, it's a nice little incentive to try and actually get achievement. It makes achievements worthwhile, which is kind of cool. I've also bought the wallpaper for this game, which is pretty cool. I might show you one of the days. Indeed. You can also take part in events as well. So for example, you can vote in the World Council. Can't do it yet because we've already voted and it's already passed. You can also do a Senate vote, and I voted for Ecos because that's what I use the most. Initiative even. And that's the SAAT, that's it. Not the fucking text, it's the SAAT. Just for simplicity, right? Global Trust is Typhoons, Eden Initiative is Ecos, and SAAT is Tex. Much simpler. Okie dokie. So the main thing I'll play with this is continuous game. Great thing about this is that you can adjust whatever you want to your liking. So if you go to game settings, you can pick, obviously you've got your own, you can pick what who you want to be up against, and you also have NPCs that basically just help you with trading and whatnot, and you can change the game settings to wherever you like. Do you want quests? Fine, put quests on. Do you want them off? Fine, take them off. I wouldn't advise taking quests off. Quests are a pretty good way to get money and licenses early game. Refund of construction costs. This allows you basically to replace anything that's out of whack, basically for free. It's really cool actually, especially if you're first playing the game, first timer, because you will fuck up. Your first designs will fuck up. There's no doubt about that. It's just going to happen. It's just like anything. Dwarf Fortress, for example. You know, your first one's going to fuck up. It's as simple as that. Island size, you can change it. So large ones tend to be better because you can settle more civilization on one island and congregate more on one island. And smaller islands are more for the production ones, for more raw materials and whatnot. And there's all these other stuff. I ain't gonna go through all of them. You can change the seed. So each map you generate will be brand new, which is one of the great aspects of it. And there's all this bloody crap. Now, the one I do quite like is, obviously for my first game, I didn't want to be pestered by ongoing war, so I actually put peace on permanent, if I remember correctly, infinite. Now as you can see this bar down here? As I'm clicking through this, it's actually going down. This shows you how easy the game's going to be, or how hard the game's going to be, depending on what you pick. So, yeah. That's just an example. That's what I like, and you can actually start it as a multiplayer as well, which is quite nice. I haven't played the multiplayer. I know you can go co-op, which is kind of cool, but I haven't tried it. So, yeah, Sodja. Anyway, let's load up my very first one. My very first one. I've spent. Did it tell me? I've spent, yeah, bloody hell, I've spent nearly 18 hours on this. That's quite a long time. Bearing in mind, I haven't 18 hours. Yeah, I think it's in-game hours. I'm sure it is. It fucking better be. But yeah, 18 hours. Because you can speed up the game, you see, even though it runs in real time, you can speed it up, which helps a little bit with certain stuff. Yay, thank you, Eve. Indeed. She gets annoying. In fact, all of them get annoying. They keep popping up here and they keep shouting at you. You know, it's as if, oi, listen to me, you fucking twat. You know, turn it down. Please turn it down. I only figured out earlier on that you could actually turn the individual voice down. God, I'm a dumbass. But yeah, playing this and you get them popping up every 2 seconds, it can be a bit annoying. Right, so, okay, this is your arc. This is what you'll start off with. Arc is great because you can store stuff in it. You can make your first ship on it. Ooh, just sold some diamonds. You can get your first ship off it, and you can do some pretty cool things with it. Great thing about the arc is that it's consistent, so anything that goes in the arc, if you start a new game elsewhere, all the stuff that's in the arc will be transferred over to there, which is pretty cool. I think it even works in multiplayer as well, which is pretty nice. Right, so this is my main island. This is where I have most of my civilians. In fact, this is where I have all my civilians. This bit here is the eco industry here. This bit here is the tech industry. Now, I do have access to all three at the moment. However, when you first start, you'll probably have only access to one. You'll get techs around about, I think when you upgrade your main little civilian houses to level 3. I think, can't quite remember, but anyway, you will get them eventually, as well as tycoons as well, or whichever one you start. You can start off as tycoons or as as ecos. So yeah, so this island is mainly it's kind of a jack of all trade island. This is, which is not very ideal. So as you can see, I've got civilians here, got a few farms here. I'm trying to use the fact that I've got fertilities in tea and rice and coffee to my advantage. And we also have a few production facilities here, which are producing stuff such as mobile phones, cameras. Yeah, this is all the high-tech stuff. You don't really need all this. Building blocks, bio drinks, etc., etc. Now, here you are. The person in green, that is my enemy. Now, of course, this is on always peaceful, so she's not going to really hurt me that much at all. The only thing she can really do to annoy me is to settle on other islands that I might want to settle on. But, nah, it's not too much of a problem. After all, there is quite a few islands. Now, the great thing about this, compared to 1701, is the fact there's actually underground. Not underground. What the fuck am I on about underground? Underwater islands as well. Look. Wow. Look here. I mean, just come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Look how beautiful this is. I mean, look how beautiful this is. Look at it. Look at it. Such a beautiful game. Anyway. Yeah. So down here we've got an oil rig. We've got a few things like algae farms. We're also tinning algae for our scientists, because apparently our scientists really like to eat sea plants. I have no idea why. We've got coral growing down here. Apparently that's an elf thing. Oh God, no. Yeah, it's kind of confusing why the civilians like what they like, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. You know, I have my likes and dislikes as well, so. You know, this is my second island. This is what's growing my. I think this is my vegetables. Yeah, this is my veggie farm, my fruit farm, and my rice. Not rice farm, wheat farm. and I also have some. I also have some thingies here. Is it? Yeah, flour mills here to actually grind that flour into pasta. Indeed, because you don't grind it into bread. You grind it into pasta. Yeah, that's understandable. And yeah, so another thing as well is resources on an island. Right, you start off with a warehouse. Okay, you start off with a warehouse and you have stuff in it. So for example, I've got loads of fish, loads of tea, blah 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 blah. Okay. As you can see, there's an influence area here, and that's where you can actually build stuff. Now, you can't build stuff outside the influence area, but if you want to, you have to build depots. Now, depots are basically the same as warehouses. Let's just show you. So there you go, there's a depot. Right, pretty much the same as a warehouse. It stores goods. Now, the goods are actually shared between them on the same island, so you don't have to worry about connecting them, per se. So, as long as there's stuff in the warehouse, it'll be in the depot as well. And as you can see, the area of influence is there as well, so I can now build stuff on there as well. It's pretty cool. It's exactly the same as our Anno 1701 worked as well. That's pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, they don't get shared over different islands. So, as you can see, this island doesn't have all that stuff that island does. So, this island is purely just for production purposes. All I'm doing is producing stuff, and I'm using a trade route to ship it over here, so as I can produce it and give it to my civilians to make them happier. Happy civilians are great because not only do more people move in, but you get taxis, and taxis are very important. Without taxis, you can't run a damn thing. So let's just go through some of the interface options, So here we go. I've got wealth. This is how many credits I have. This is your main source of income. And as you can see, your regular income totals are 1,342. And in fact, there's a balance there. It shows you. It also shows you what you're using it for. So building maintenance, for example, 7,030. And other stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. Licenses. This is your second form of currency. This is for important stuff such as research. It's also used for some items that you can use to permanently increase your stuff. I like to use stuff. It's great. It covers so much stuff. Now it's stuff to upgrade your island and your ark and your ships, and sometimes temporary stuff as well. That gives a big massive boost. It's pretty cool. And these are just as important as currency. And of course, you've got your population here. It actually breaks it down to what populations you have. So as you can see, I've got 4 types of ecos. So, oh god, I called that, can I? Okay, let's just click on my town centre. Okay. So, eco workers. These are your first tier stuff. Great thing about these is that they require hardly anything. A direct. Okay, whatever. So yeah, these require hardly anything. So as you can see, fish, very simple to produce. Tea, very simple to produce. A town centre, well, you need a city centre to actually build these anyway. So yeah, it's fine. An activity. Now this one hasn't got any activity. This I like to call this the Scudder Avenue. This is where they all die and go to poverty and shit like that. But they're still paying me decent taxes, so I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. So yeah. And once all the needs are fulfilled, you can then advance them to the next tier. So the next tier is the eco employees. Employees, not employers. Employees. I believe these are employees. So look, you've actually got a different avatar there. And these ones require just a tad bit more. So you need elf food now, as well as fish. So if you actually produce the needs for the first tier, no, I'm not saying. If you have the needs for the second tier, then you've fulfilled the first tier as well. So that's pretty cool in that respect. They don't need separate things. It's only the next one. It's only the next tier up that needs extra things. So you don't need to worry too much about that. So yeah, food. It needs more. It needs the elf food, drink, tea, community, the activity, blah blah blah. It also needs mobile phones because hey, we live in the modern era now. Mobile phones. Everyone has one. I don't, because I have no use for it. But everyone else does, you know. Fair enough. Information, network education. Yep, brilliant. So he's sorted. Indeed. There's a third tier, which is the engineers. These ones require, I think these ones require a bit more of a leisurely type lifestyle. Yeah, participations. They want to participate in stuff like music, as you can see. So you need to build a congress centre near them. All these buildings here, that's the congress centre, I believe. Yeah. Oh, fuck off. Quests can be annoying sometimes. I wish I'd just cancelled that. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
Every problem has a solution.
Yes, I know every problem has a solution. I'm still talking here, shut up. Anyway, so as you can see, all these cover a certain area. So any buildings that are in this current area actually have access to this. So that means they can be upgraded. Like this one, for example. And of course, he actually requires a bit more now. So he requires more pasta dishes. He also requires bottle drinks. And blah 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 blah. Now, every time you get to the next tech level, you actually get access to more buildings to make. So obviously, the first level you could only do you could only make fisheries, and you could only make tea plantations. I believe the second level, you can then have access to elf food and communicators and stuff like that. And you got to. It's not hard once you know what you're doing, but when you first start, it can get a bit fiddly. So what you need to do is you need to try and make sure you're meeting the demands of your population. Every time you level up a building, the amount of space in that building goes up. So you're actually making more population by upgrading it. And the more population you have, the more you need to feed, which means you need more producing plants, which means you need more of pretty much everything. And then it literally then is a case of trying to find out what fits. So as you can see, I haven't done too bad with some of these fields here. They're pretty close together. You know, I'm not using that much space. However, here is a bit of a more fiddly approach. I haven't done that well. These fucking pig farms are annoying, and they need a lot. They need these big squares here. Bloody annoying. I think there's one where I really fucked up on. Where is he? Yeah, this sugar farm here. I kind of fucked up really bad on that, mainly because it needs bloody 10 of these things. You know. So, right. So each island has can produce certain goods. So as you can see, we have access to tea, rice and coffee on this particular island. Now, not every island is going to have all these things. You're going to have islands that have different things. So for example, if we go to this one up here instead has access to vegetables, wine and sugar. Now you'll probably need these later on down the line, which means you'll have to probably settle on them, and you need to start building stuff on here. So for example, obviously I needed fruit and vegetables and wheat, so I decided to build it here. Now there's also corn on here, so each island actually has an extra slot, which means you can actually buy seeds from NPCs. You can actually produce seeds as well from researching, but that can take quite a while to actually get to. I mean, you need to have the technology, and you also need to have level 2 techs, which is quite hard to begin with in the first place, because you need to actually start producing stuff underwater, which as if this wasn't tedious enough, you've got to do this as well. But don't panic, it's not that hard once you know what you're doing. It's just the starting up that gets a bit fiddly. Once you know what you're doing, it's all fine. As long as you can keep the numbers, it's okay. Indeedly do. So what else was I? Oh yeah, I've got one under it. This is my diamond mine here. These ones here are diamond mines. Oh yeah, I'm actually purposely overproducing these so as I can sell them off for decent amount of monies. Oh yeah. Right. So yeah, I've talked to you about how these work. So also each island has other things as well. For example, mineral resources. So this one here has 7. So as you can see, it's got access to lobster. it's also got access to these river tiles here. Some buildings require you to have these, such as the sand extractor and the wheat mill. The wheat mill? The flour mill. Fucking wheat mill. Ah, sometimes. It's also got access to stuff like basalt. Doesn't have access to oil, unfortunately. But we've sorted that out by having an underwater oil rig over on that island. It's also got access to gold, sand, blah de blah de blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. Now, each island needs power. So you need to actually produce buildings that do produce power. So as you can see, we've actually got positive here. We've got 112 here. Most of my power is coming from these things here. These offshore wind parks. Now, as you can see, this one's actually working at 96% efficiency because it's actually overlapping with another one of my wind farms. But it's producing 29 power, which is pretty nice. It actually tells you down here what it takes to run it. So, as you can see, it takes 50 maintenance costs to actually run. Energy, it shows you how much it produces, and ecology, which I'll go through in a bit. Let's see if we can find an 100% one. No, cancel. Fuck off. No, I don't accept the quest. Fuck off. Right, so this is an 100% one. This is an example of what happens at 100%. So I've got fair to go in. Now, you can actually increase that via things such as research, modules, which you can insert into your island. As I said before, you can actually put stuff onto your island to make it produce more, or to make it more cost effective, or to increase the ecology, which again I'll go through in a bit. And yeah, those are my main sources of power. I believe I also have another source of power. Where is it? Is that it? Yeah. So there's actually another form of power here. I've got thermal power station. This one's actually run by people. So as you can see, it's only working at 80% efficiency. Now, this is an example of actually bad placement. So as you can see, I've actually placed it here where it's only covering half of the population. Now, if that was covering the whole of the population, so maybe if I'd put it here instead, it'd probably be working at 100% efficiency. Or perhaps even less than that, possibly. But more than 80% anyway. And that's producing quite a lot of power on its own. So that's pretty cool. There are other ways to make power as well. So, over on this island, we have a... Yep, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a... That's the... Oh, God. Hang on. Wait. Shut up. I've got this. It's the... yeah, is it the geothermal? No, it's not the geothermal. Now, bear in mind, you know, I haven't really done that much on this yet. So, hang on. Is it offshore wind park? No, it's this end. It's fuck. Oh well, anyway, you can build like a dam there basically, and it produces a shit ton of power. I obviously haven't got access to it yet. I think it might run the tycoons actually. That might be why I can't find it. But yeah, and that produces a shit ton of power. So if I had access to, if I actually built up the tycoon civilization a bit, I'll be able to probably build it, but I can't yet because obviously I haven't built it up. Herp derp. What's going on here?
All systems online.
Don't care. Right, so the second thing, probably one of the more important things as well, is the eco balance. Now, a positive eco balance is really good, especially early game. Because what happens is, with a higher eco balance, your farms will work at more efficiency. So, for example, this tea plantation here is working at 135%. It's nearly producing... no, what the fuck am I about? Yeah, it's alright. No, 135% efficiency. So it's actually producing more than it would be if it was just a normal ecosystem. Now, ecosystem... A lot of things... fuck off. I know. Jesus. I should probably turn some of this stuff off because the goods are actually stored for, but fuck it. Not for this video anyway. So yeah, what was on about? Yeah, the ecosystem. So yeah, the eco balance is really important. So there's actually quite a lot of buildings that knock it down quite a bit. So for example, these chip factories, as you can see, it costs a little bit of power to run them, costs a little bit of maintenance to keep them afloat, but it also costs ecosystem, because obviously it chugs out probably smoke and whatnot to actually make these damn chips. Very unhealthy. And as you can see, I've actually got 6 of these fuckers here, because we're not producing them very quick enough. So yeah, so that's what, -4. God, I covered the simple math now. Hey, I'm an idiot. Yep, 20. So that's -24. Let's just say that. So yeah, there's a few things that you can produce that produces eco. I've got a few here. This is a ozone maker station. As you can see, it's actually 99% efficiency, because I've got one votive as well. Bit dumb of me, but I think that was the best place I could put it. But there you go. It's actually so 100%. It'd probably be 100 plus 100 eco balance, which is quite significant. You can make some smaller ones as well, such as little ozone maker thingies. Where am they? Is that one of them? Yeah. So weather control station. This is just a smaller one. This is one you get access to in the earlier techs, and it's only a slight boost, but you know, it's only a small building. It doesn't tear that much up, and you know, it just gives you a better eco balance, which is great for farms like eco. It's a bit hard to play the tycoons in that respect, because tycoons are basically all about trying to make coal power and stuff like that, and it does knacker the ecosystem quite badly. So that's one good advantage about playing ecos. You've got more ways to actually increase the eco balance in that respect. After saying that though, the tycoons tend to have smaller building plans than these. So for example, obviously these rice ones here, I'm actually going to pipette this. I'll show you how to build it. So we're going to build that there. Right, now it's working at 0% efficiency here. Why? Because it needs the farms, of course. It needs the actual plantations. So we put one there. It's now working at 27%. If we put a second one, it's now at 54. Put a third one, it's 81. If we put all that it requires, which is 5, it's now at 135. And we also need to build a road to connect it, otherwise the vans won't be able to pick up the actual goods. And there we go, sorted. Excellent. Get rid of that, because I've got too many bloody vegetables as it is and whatnot. I don't even know if these are vegetables. No, they're rice. Well, I was close. Yeah, rice are exactly the same as vegetables. What else could I go through? I think that's pretty much sums it up. I mean, the user interface is actually really nice. It's actually customizable as well, so as you can see, I've got this stuff up here. It's showing me basically the needs of all the text that I've got currently, but I can take them off like that. Look, see, I can just take that off and I can put something else on instead. Maybe I want to see how much coal I'm producing. Just stick it up there and you can see. It's pretty cool like that. It's a good way to see if there's anything going down that you're producing, that you're underproducing for. That way you can pair up some of your buildings, maybe, or build some new ones. You know, it's all management. It's great management, and just look how beautiful it looks. Just look at that. Look at that. My main aim, hopefully, is to build a monument. Now I'm actually pretty close to this. I only need a few more eco executives, but it's very expensive to build this. And my god, look how much power it uses. Oh god. And that massive it's eco balance as well, which is kind of ironic, considering it's supposed to be a leisure centre foundation. Oh well, that's life, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's pretty much covered most of what I wanted to say about the game. Really is a cracking game. As long as you're not really too bothered about the DRM, which it is a bit of a nit, you know, to be quite honest, but you shouldn't let that put you off buying this fantastic gem of a game. Really, really nice. Really relaxing. And really time consuming. Everything you want in a game. Everything you really want in a game. Okay then guys. That's me out for the count. and I'll see you later.